Topics may be controversial. Ongoing research confirms our positions. Do your own due diligence, understand the concepts, and arrive at your own conclusions. Please feel free to reflect your considerations and opinions in the comments section. Problem. Thriving services sector leads dysfunctional society. Services like legal, medical, banking, chartered accountant, financial analysts, real estate, insurance, etc. are some examples. Whenever such services flourish, it generally leads to dysfunctional society on its way to collapse. Let's go through some of these examples. Legal service. Even though laws are made to address a minority of problems in the society, over a period of time, laws are passed either by legal departments or politicians, which generally make people irresponsible. Please read the blog post, Laws Make People Irresponsible, to go farther on this topic. Lawyers and judges create precedents so that the legal service gets more revenue for their own benefit, which in turn encourages more professionals to get into the service. The more cases, the larger set of people in conflict with each other because of trust issues, failure to adhere to prior obligations, being prone to cheat, etc. Over a period of time, people behave and hide behind the legality of the problems instead of solving them. Eventually, more professionals in this service create more laws to address even tinier problems, which in turn creates more conflicts. Medical service. Medicine is another service which is useful to solve health problems. When people have bad health habits and are pushed by food industry through media to eat poorly made food without concern for nutritional content or portion limits, generally people have severe chronic diseases like diabetes, cancer, arthritis, etc. Over a period of time, doctors, hospitals, clinics, diagnostic centers flourish, and eventually they form a business instead of a service. Doctors and hospitals now act to increase their profits rather than letting people know the true source of their ill health and genuinely solve their problems. The majority of general practitioners are pretty useless for good health. However, now people tend to visit doctors for each and every small problem instead of healing themselves, and doctors are happy to have them. In a way, the increase in medical industry means unhealthy population in that region. Chartered accountants. It is theft to steal one's hard-earned money through taxation. However, we are forced to do so. Normally, these laws are simple and people in that region easily follow such rules. However, over time, taxes get more complicated, and that's when chartered accountant services flourish. This leads to more middlemen, and people over time fail to learn to stay on top of the system and end up relying on these services. These men then charge hefty fees in a now self perpetuating system. Real estate agents. Generally, when a property is being traded, there's a buyer and a seller. There is no need of another third party to register the sale legally. However, the rise of agents happens when the sale is large and complicated. As years pass by, there's a percentage of commission taken by agents to seal the deal. Slowly, more unproductive agents lacking any other skills get into the business, and they themselves start trading property without any development of that property, thus driving up real estate prices. This creates artificial inflation, and farmers or people who really want to produce cannot afford the land. Eventually, this leads to a huge collapse which can affect a large set of the population. Problem. Upon pondering, one notices that all these services are non productive third party services, meaning they do not produce goods when compared to farming, agriculture, engineering, etc. Such services thriving means society is dysfunctional because of complicated laws, people being careless of their health, and because people stop fighting the system and get used to the comfort. Solution. One cannot absolutely avoid the services sector as they do serve some purpose. However, people need to actively avoid as much as possible the use of such services and need to learn for themselves. Another way is to come up with a solution to remove third party services. One also needs to stand up against the government to stop unfair or overly complicated laws, rules, and acts being passed. Comfort leads to misery, so do not think it's not your job to hope a different party will solve your problem. Be cautious and actively participate in the process for the betterment of your society.